I apologize for the background noise. I live in a garage, basically, and the garage is a separate building from the house, and my little siblings are all running around outside playing. So, I'm not going to tell them to be quiet, but you'll have to bear with the background noise for now. So, this is Bluefort. This is the first map that was ever made for Team Fortress, the franchise, inspired by a Doom WOD, and it's gone through many iterations throughout the years, really, but this is the, official one. This is, the last one that really works for the game, right? Now, the reason I'm describing all this is because there is a YouTuber who decided, hey, you know what would be a great idea is if I assert that Bluefort is a bad map and make my fixes to it, which is essentially just make his own map, right? And he'll need quite the substantial amount of evidence as to why Bluefort is a bad map, and I'll go through all of the reasons why it's pretty good, actually, and how it still fits TF2's, gameplay design today. So, I don't know that much about map making. As a layman, though, the one thing that I do know is that a good map in a game like Team Fortress 2 is when all the classes are able to perform their specific jobs in specific areas. Okay? Scout being the most mobile, he can go pretty much anywhere he wants and get into fights with whomever he wants. He can run through here and try to sit at people's spawn here. He can come through the sewers from the moats down below, and he can run through here, and he can approach intelligence this way, or if he happens to come through this way and deal with the enemy sniper, he can run through here while no one's looking, and if a sentry's not placed, of course, and he can run down here through these stairs and acquire lay intelligence in this big old room, this big room that you can get caught out in by two different areas if you're not careful, and if the team is coordinated, the enemy team, right? And you can run through here, get out of the basement, and you're met with options as to where to go, okay? This is super important, and I'm gonna bring this up later, because there's some stupid YouTubers that decided to make, new versions of Bluefort, and one of them, by the name of Shonik, he, I don't know anything about his map. I'm not going to be reviewing it today, and from what I hear, it's not quite loyal to TF2 at all because of some nuclear reactor stuff. So I'm going to be reviewing Grate Blue's Bluefort redesign, which is, from the couple YouTube videos I've seen so far, pretty abysmal, because it not only ignores certain functions about the map that are kind of there on purpose, but it pretends to behave as a Team Fortress 2 map when it's very obviously not. So the critical thing to understand, as I said earlier, is that every class needs to be able to do their own thing. Traditionally, in Quake Team Fortress and Team Fortress Classic, the capture point for the flag was actually right here. You had to go deep into enemy lines, into a basement room that went far lower and far farther than it does in this game, and bring it out of there, somehow get it back through a bridge that had no roof, and bring it right here. And that was pretty important because it gave the snipers not only the ability to defend the fortress itself, but also, once the player got back up here, it gave them the opportunity to defend the player who was carrying the flag to the point here. And I just want to note something. Sniper, as a class, when he was originally designed, and kind of how he's still designed now, maybe outside the Huntsman, is only designed to sit up here. That's what the map accommodates for him. Any more movement, even down here or in here, is way outside of the area where he's supposed to be comfortable in, because he's way more open to people like spies and scouts and soldiers and demomen and even heavies, okay? Sniper's job is to mainly sit up there on the battlements and watch the other battlements counter-sniping, and also trying to take care of people who are trying to walk down from battlements to the bridge, because he can't shoot people really that effectively once he's on the bridge. And this changes a little bit as a huntsman, because you can drop down and get to the bridge and sort of defend this side of the bridge area, but again, it leaves you super open, and you really have to hit that projectile well, which of course is like part of the game, you know, it takes skill to do that kind of thing. But snipers aren't supposed to walk through here, they're not supposed to capture the flag, they're not really supposed to do any of that. They're supposed to help enable their teammates to do that. Teammates like Soldier and Demoman and Scout primarily. Sometimes Pyro too, but Pyro works better as the class that enables from closer distance. And I am talking a bit idealistically, but I'm mostly taking into account how the map was designed at game launch and how the classes work, or they used to work at game launch, and how they kind of still work now, albeit with a lot of changes. So Pyro's more so a facilitator for other people to grab the intelligence, like Scout and Soldier, like I said. By being the close range facilitator, he's the guy who can spread the area with fire and take care of people that way and kind of like distract people while the Scout runs behind and tries to go get it from basement, right? He can cover this wide area with his flames really, really effectively, and he works really well with that. And he can have shotguns, you know, or flares, and of course melee as like a last resort. But yeah, the gameplay loop of these explosive classes are pretty similar in the regards that they're sort of meant to run in for the intelligence, but also be more of an offensive front so that the Scout can get behind, really. Soldier, Demoman, Heavy, really, they're all designed to get kills more so than actually capture the intelligence. They're more so to get kills as a way to enable the intelligence being captured by someone more capable, somebody sneakier, perhaps. And that's pretty important when it comes to a game like this, because it's very good to attempt dividing the resources in a way that you can, you know, distract the enemy team without them realizing that they've been had, you know what I mean? Medic, of course, he's meant to be running around with the more explosive classes and the heavy, of course, trying to help people where he can, but also just, you know, helping out the damage dealing front, and especially now that he can match the speed of his healing targets. He can work great with the Scout who captures the intelligence, if he can grab the Scout with his heal ray and just follow him the rest of the way, depending on where he shows up and how clear they all are. Because sometimes people just aren't clear, you know? And of course Spy, he's designed to facilitate as well, but he can capture the flag too. Pretty much any class can capture the flag if they work hard enough at it, but generally speaking, Spy and Scout are the ones designed to like go for the capture, and other classes are there to pick up the intelligence if it happens to get dropped, like if the Scout or the Spy dies, which is pretty important in a game like this, because that's a mark of good teamwork. Like if I die with the intelligence up here somewhere. I didn't make it in time, but if I died here as the Spy, right, due to whatever, I can rush in with a medic or another teammate, destroy whatever sentry we need to, however we can, and or unless it's a heavy or a Demoman and they happen to be sitting on the intelligence, right, as they should, to protect it, we can take care of him. I can pick the intelligence back up and run it out that way. I'm not designed necessarily to capture it from the outset, like from the basement, but I can very much help. How did I miss that rocket jump? I can very much help by picking it up when people need me to. And there's a myriad of places that defenses can be placed, like in this room and even here in the basement and the capture room itself. But generally speaking, all the classes, you know, they've got pretty specific roles, and the map accommodates all of them. The snipers are meant basically to sit up here, and everyone else is meant to go run out and do stuff. And it depends on the stuff, you know. You could have a flank that's building Uber down in the sewers, and then they can come out of sewers and surprise, you know, the whole enemy team with an Uber charge, right? Whatever Uber charge that is. And that's super duper important. And it's kind of the mark of how the design of this map has stuck around since Quake Team Fortress, because even in the days of Quake, the developers, of course, right, the big three, they knew that the map needs to cater to everyone's skill set at least a little bit for all the classes to be not only worth playing, but for the map to be worth experiencing in the collective team sport that it is. Bluefort. I'm not ready for this. Okay. Already, I can tell a very large difference between the maps. And I know that the map probably should be graded on its own merits. But the merit of this map is that it's a redesign of an old map under the assertion that it needs to be fixed. Like, it's not TF2, it doesn't work anymore if it ever did at all. And overall, this map, like the old map, the old T2 fort, is a bunch of baloney, right, for various reasons. So already, we have a very major difference that critically changes the gameplay loop of both teams. There's a spawn door right here. Now, why this is so important is that this effectively creates turbine. CTF turbine. You know that one map where there's a pathway that walks right by the spawn of the enemies where they're all encased in glass? This basement out is no longer a viable risk to take if you go down to capture the intelligence. Oh, that's... the resupply is gone. Why? I mean, I guess he just wanted the resupplies up in spawn because you don't spawn down here, but why? Because this is so deep into, you know, enemy territory if you're a red guy, not only will the resupply be useless to you, but it also gives blue team at least a chance to recover against you, you know? Or they can run in with red's intel, drop the intel at the door, heal themselves up, and then carry it the rest of the way. You know, if they don't want to go up to spawn, because that is very much out of their way. There was some intelligent design to that. Anyways, what other differences are there? Oh my gosh, what is this? Does this guy not know what the point of that little corridor was? The point of that corridor was, if there was an enemy approaching you, to give you some method of a challenge if you needed to capture the flag. Like, if you're running in with the enemy's intelligence, the corridor was meant to act as a nice, like, last corner so that whatever explosive was being thrown at you or whatever was being shot at you needed to wait a little bit. It gave you a little edge. Or, if you're in enemy territory, it gives you this claustrophobic feeling, and it gives you an extra challenge, because red team isn't just going to let you capture their intelligence. But now they've opened it up to the point where that's completely obsolete. This is disgusting. Did they do the same? Yeah, they did the same here. But they kept this part of the... Why? Why have they opened it up so much? Now sentries being placed here are even... like, they're worthless. Like, they had some worth before if the engineers stayed down here to maintain them, but sentries down here now are utterly worthless because there's so much open area and there's so much wiggle room to, like, peek now. There's no challenge that the map inherently provides. There's no natural pressure of game dynamics. This is absurd. Because now the sentry is too open if you decide to place it, like, I don't know, right here. Because now people can just shoot from really far away, and I'm pretty sure that over here is out of the sentry's range. I'm pretty sure over here is out of this sentry's range if you placed it over there. It might be, I don't know. It probably is, I'll test it later. Okay, why is there a cutout here? This doesn't make a lot of sense, because so far what I've seen is that he's tried to make the map extraordinarily open, at least in the basement. For whatever reason, it basically neuters the function of certain classes, and it opens the map up to where the natural confines and, like, the limits of the map enable and encourage a player to learn how to, you know, work with and work past those limits naturally. Like, in a way that they may not understand subconsciously. Like, that was one of the key benefits of, you know, having tight corridors and open areas. But so far, down here, it's just all open areas. So, I don't know what lesson he's trying to impart with players who would play this map. This very much seems to be like a YouTube thumbnail gimmick where he's like, oh, I fixed 2 for it. And I like started the video and I couldn't get through 60 seconds of it, but I'll have to watch it later, I guess, because I need to know his decision rationale. And I haven't watched the video, like I said. I just loaded the map because I wanted to guess all of his rationale from the outset just to see how much I got right. And so far, I can tell that he really doesn't like areas that kind of close in and force you to lock in. Because the benefit about small areas is that they force you to think. Why is the roof lower? That's weird. They force you to think, really. And that's pretty important when it comes to a game like this because it's a team sport, you know? Not that this guy seems to care. So is this a spiral staircase now, but it's just stairs and not a ramp? Wait, what? Where am I? Where am I? I don't know where I am. What's up here? What? Whoa! What? This is spawn? Why is there a grate? Can't pyro flames be shot through grates? Is this to deal with sentries that they place on top of grates so that the pyros can just shoot up and take care of them instead of needing to take a risk? Is that what this is? Okay, hang on. Why is there a ramp here, first of all? That doesn't make any sense at all. You're not going to blast jump off of this. I'm going to get to that later. Why is this so open, but still only has the small ammo and the small health? I don't understand. I cannot actually understand the rationale behind this. It's just so open. This guy does not like close quarters combat, by the looks of it. What is this? He took the spiral staircase out. The only reason he did that, I assume, is because he thought it wastes time. And then there's a little ramp that comes up here where the spawn hole should be, and it's not there. Where does it go then? Did he remove it altogether? I don't understand this at all. Like, who does this facilitate? I guess this facilitates engineers? Not really, because people can... All the blast damage classes and heavy have way more utility now to take them down, so being an engineer at this point is worthless because you have no small corners to catch people by surprise in, which is actually one of the strengths of the sentry gun by design. That's why the old maps have areas that you can get caught by surprise in, because that's what sentries are helpful with. Okay, the hole drop down is still here. What the heck is this? If you showed me a screenshot of just this, I would not know that it was a 2-fort redesign. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not going there yet. So this is an entrance to battlements, it seems. And this is the door out. Why is there a sniper cover right here? Is this the tight corner where you're supposed to place sentries? Oh. Considering that scouts can come up from here and a heavy can come through here and probably a flanking soldier or a Demoman or a Pyro. This doesn't seem like a very great spot, but so far it's the only one that's any good. Okay, how do sewers look? The tunnel is smaller. The area is the same. I don't remember the tunnel S-curving. Not like this. Wait, but I can't already be there. That's not possible. I'm not this close yet. What the? Where's the entrance to Red's sewers? Oh, I get it. Right, because the water area is just too open. We need cover and more cover and an area to get locked into and showered upon, because that makes sense somehow. And a spot where health and ammo exist for, I don't know, deathmatch purposes? Part of the water area in the original 2 fort was risky by nature of it being a flank route that takes a long time to go through. And there was a benefit to that insofar as if you got down there sneakily enough, no one would know. And he's kind of taken the risk away by making it so much like a closed-in fighting area, like a deathmatch map, when this is a capture the flag map. I'm gonna get to that later. I want to go in as much order as I can. Okay, so the sewers are messed up. Oh, there's like 10% of 2 fort left in here. So you go out here, and there's no more hallway that takes you just straight down to the red spawn on that side. That's gone, because now the opening to outside is here for some stupid reason. You come out here, this is where the opening should be, and it's not, because all of a sudden it's closed off. This guy is a big fan of open areas in places where they shouldn't be, and really tight areas in places where they shouldn't be. And I know that this can all be chalked up to just personal taste, but there's a reason why everything was designed to be a certain way in the original game. And I'm going off of the source material that he claimed he's making better. So far, this isn't better. Because it's failing to understand the core strengths and balances that certain teammates have at, you know, close, medium, and long range that's being interrupted by the stupid wall. There was a dynamic here of trying to pussyfoot around people and you know, trying to figure out who to catch off guard at the right time, and having this corridor where you're not going to have much escape because your flank route has been had. You know, you've been caught, and you need to deal with the consequences of it as a result. Like, that's the risk part of this game. It's like he's trying to take the risk of the map away. Why is this here? There's no reason for this to be here. You're right next to spawn. There's no reason for any of this to be here. Oh gosh. What? Okay. I guess double jumping onto the ramp was too difficult for... Or crouch jumping is too difficult for a lot of people to do? I don't know why you'd do that. Okay, I'm gonna switch to Pyro real quick, just to see about this Grate thing. Wait, what? There's a door there? Why is there a door? Oh gosh, I'm not getting there yet. I'm not getting there yet. I assume this does damage to something, but I don't know. I don't actually know if it does. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna test that engineer reach thing real quick. Okay, the sentry gun's reach is pretty far. Okay, so if I place it here... Okay, it does reach into the corner. It barely reaches into the corner. Especially if you position it badly. Like if you place it here. I can't tell how to... Okay, so if you placed a sentry right here... it can't see from over here. Well, I guess then you can't see it very well either. But sticky, long-range sticky bombs can still destroy it quite easily. Okay, I underestimated the range of the sentry. My point still stands, however, in that now that you've made it so open, there is no area for engineers to catch people by surprise anymore, which kind of ruins their dynamic of the defensive sentry, right? Like, you can walk through here, hug the wall, it'll see you, and you can just quickly backpedal without the need to actually turn the corner, see it, and turn back around. The engineer completely loses that element of surprise. Even here, I think it's still gone, because now you have this area where you can peek really wide, and it'll just shoot you behind the wall at a much less risky disadvantage to you. And you can just shoot stickies there on the wall, and it's destroyed, because now you have access to that wall that you didn't previously have. And I think same for over here. Yeah, pretty much the same thing for right here, is that now you can see the tripod leg if you're looking, and you can just shoot at it with rockets or something, and it's destroyed. It's like there's no reason to have engineer as a class in this map. Like, no reason. Like, even if you're just defending this area of basement, you try to place a sentry, I don't know, here in the cutout, and a scout comes down here, lee-dee-dee, oh, shoot, and then the sentry has to turn around and stuff, and so he'll just pepper shot it, like, pew, 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 and if the engineer's not there to help out, which a lot of times he isn't, if he's placing him down here, that sentry's destroyed. So one thing's for certain is that engineer at the very least has become a lot more difficult to play on this map, at least from a conceptual point. Playtesting might render different results, but I don't know what results you can render from a positioning like this, where you can do a full 360 around a sentry gun, basically, and just boom, boom, boom. Especially if you have a teammate and you're coordinating, that sentry's destroyed in seconds. Like, I don't know what other results playtesting could bring out other than just like, and if you hear the sentry gun, right? Like, if you have ears and you hear it, what are you going to do? You're going to come up here and just and turn your back to spawn, I guess. That's a risk, but like, why place the sentry here? Nobody's going to come up through intel right through here, right? Because they can just come down through here. I guess they could come down through here, and now they're in mid, which cuts off a massive point of risk that the original map had for people exiting with the intelligence. Like, there was a risk involved in taking the intel down there and running it up through areas that you needed to finesse really well, and you needed to, like, be aware of, and, like, it was risky because you were taking the intelligence. Now, if there's no sentry placed here and you can really get people off by surprise, you're already at mid in, like, I don't know, 7 seconds? Like, let's go with scout again and see how long it would take for me if I made it to intel from the middle area. Oh my gosh, there's an intelligence now. Oh, this is awful. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to count myself down. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, even around 7 or 8, I guess 8-ish seconds, I'm down here already. I'm here. It should take me much longer to get here, because typically, if you're running through the basement route, which I guess now you can't because that spawn door provides too much of a risk, you know, this is going to take a lot longer, right? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so around 12 seconds. 12, like, in my head, seconds. And now you don't even need to go through mid because of this stupid door. And there's no risk involved in capturing the flag anymore, because now you're going to have so many different routes to take. Oh my gosh, imagine going through the sewers with the intelligence. Oh my gosh, that would be awful. Because now you're going to just go through here, and you have so much cover, and if you can finesse it right, like, I guess this is more room for a pyro shark to do something, but why would you cater to a pyro shark? Like, that's just dumb. Oh my gosh. So this map is not designed to capture the intelligence, and it's not designed for engineers. This much I can tell from just looking at it. It's very much designed for classes who can deal damage behind corners, so namely pyros, soldiers, and demomen. And I'm just gonna grab the intelligence, and I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna run out to battlements now. And I'm gonna actually take a look outside, and I've saved most likely the worst for last if the videos that I watched were true. Oh my gosh. Why is this here? Why is there a one-way shutter door? You already have a spawn door. Why do you need this? So that you can stop the Demoman from spawn camping? You're sad that you can't get out? The other spawn door was supposed to mitigate that. Besides, if they get all of your snipers, they can just, you know, sticky trap this area. So I don't know. You've kind of just made it worse for yourself. Battlements here. Gosh, why? 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 Why isn't there just a spawn? He completely removed a spawn. Oh my gosh. He completely removed a second spawn. That destroys part of the important dynamics of this map. Because you never knew where people were going to respawn from, and it was important for catching people off guard as a sniper versus sniper, or any class really, because you could respawn in an area that would benefit your team more if you guys were getting mobbed in one area, and you could come through the other way and catch them by surprise. That was an important dynamic. Why did that leave? Okay. Oh. What? Can I even make that jump anymore? I had to crouch just to make sure I even made it here. What the what? I shouldn't be surprised because he is a conventional YouTuber, but I'm shocked. I truly am. I can't jump back to my own battlements anymore, can I? Unless I jump from here? Oh, shoot. Oh, man. What? Huh? Oh. So you have a house. You have a house that you can fight in now. With little ammo and health packs, I guess, to actually, quote-unquote, encourage fighting. These shouldn't even be here. Can I get on the bridge here? There's 2 bridges. And they're right up against the map border. Okay, so can I actually jump across back to my battlements from here? Okay, I can. The one-way shutter doesn't even open for the team, the corresponding team. Oh my gosh, okay.
We have dropped the enemy intelligence.
Let me just make sure I'm right here. Nobody's head is that tall. There's not even a window to shoot through. You've made snipers safe, and as a result... Are the battlements farther away than they originally were? Like, did he make more space in between them? I think he did. It might just be because of the clutter taking up my eye space, and so it seems farther away when it's not. Okay, well, he didn't want Sniper to work, obviously. I shouldn't be surprised, because he's a conventional YouTuber, and he thinks that, you know, Sniper's overpowered, like all the common folk normies and mostly idiots think. You can snipe people from the bridges and from inside the house at the risk of being not even counter-sniped, but at the risk of being shot at from so many different directions at once, depending on the circumstances. I guess Sniper still works, but you're going to have to be really good with your mid-range scope shots. He doesn't work down here anymore because there's too many areas to access. I wonder if that was the point. Like, was the entire... Oh, I didn't know I could clip through the... this seems like a bug. Maybe he should fix that. Was this map solely designed so that snipers could get completely hammered? Because that's the only thing that I can explain all of these routes for. It's not for spies to get behind people more, because spies could do that anyway. It's not for scouts to find more ways to capture the intelligence, because they used to be able to do that just fine. I think this is just because... I think this is just to take care of snipers, and you can't snipe from the battlements to battlements anymore. Which means that to counter-snipe, you have to move down in here and take the disadvantageous shot of the low ground, which I assume means that you'd want to come here and try to shoot in one of these, which you can't do. I don't even know why these holes are here. I guess they're just to shoot pills or rockets through. This map feels like so much decision fatigue, and I guess you could sit here and just camp the bridge. This is a somewhat safe area for him. You can't shoot anything up there. You can shoot up in the house, I guess. You can shoot on top of the house, which only scouts and rocket jumpers are going to be able to make it up. Or blast jumpers, sorry. Top of bridges. You can shoot in this little area right here. Does the same area exist over here? Okay, yeah, it does. It's right here, I guess. This isn't even my bias as a sniper main anymore. This is just atrocious. Like I explained earlier, Sniper had a specific job, and you're forcing him to leave that job and fall into what is essentially the biggest bait of his life, because he can't do nearly as much as he was designed to do from up there down here. He just can't. Unless quickscoping is like the only thing you're good at, and you can just zing people from any range, but that's not what Sniper's designed for. There's so much just open area in the wrong spots, and there's no access point. Like, there's no more, like, long-range corridor. There's no more you can see your enemies coming and you can retreat effectively or rally the troops, right? It's just gone. And like I said, 2 spawn doors because you removed 1 spawn, and now you've created Turbine, where if anyone captures the flag and tries to run through this way, they'll more than likely get caught out by somebody over here. I just... Oh. Now the house blocks the way. Like, I guess you can shoot at the house, but now pills and rockets and such fly at you much quicker because they're a shorter distance away. So you have to move much more, which you're not built to do. This map didn't take sniper into account at all. Huntsman sniper probably works. Maybe a little bit. Classic sniper, maybe? Is this really how YouTubers leverage their influence now? It all starts with an idea. Some title idea or some thumbnail that you really wanted to see. Some vision for your own personal agenda. And then you convince yourself that that's a good idea. And that that's an idea worth making. And now this is the actualization of it. This is what happens when a YouTuber decides to go with an idea so much to the point where he completely botches a core map of the game. Like, the map. The map that's been with the franchise's entire history. I probably could go through this in much more depth if I had the time. I probably will at some point. This is a travesty. This is what happens. As my friend once told me, when you make the game something you think it should be, rather than lean into what it is. Gosh, this sucks.